Board that such school closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Therefore, be it resolved that the Madison County School Board hereby certifies to that the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempt from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Ms. Patterson? Oh, do you need a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Davidson?
Aye.
Mr. Dickey?
I certify.
Mrs. Gordon?
I certify.
Mrs. Wood?
I certify.
Mr. Marks?
I certify. Please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, moving on to section 6, where we are looking at personnel matters. In this, I do believe we need a motion.
Motion to approve personnel matters for February 9th, 2026.
Do we have a second?
A second.
We have a second. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Personnel matters are... Moving to section 7, consent agenda, which includes our coaching stipends and appointments. We need a motion.
That was personnel matters.
Did I skip one? Oh, I did. And claims, thank you. Claims and minutes, yep. We need a motion for claims and minutes.
Motion approved to the consent agenda is presented.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, move forward. And now for the great part of the evening, recognitions and presentations. We have, first up, Senior of the Month. Good evening. We're-
We good now? Okay. I'm going to start again. Tylee Coates is a student whose life reflects purpose, discipline, and heart. In every role she carries, whether it be student, athlete, teammate, class president, or student ambassador, she demonstrates that leadership is not about titles, but about service. She understands that excellence is not measured solely by achievement, but by the way one lifts others along the way. Her commitment to her studies reminds us that wisdom grows where effort and integrity meet, while her determination on the field highlights the power of her perseverance, teamwork, and resilience. As a leader among her peers, Tylee leads not with volume, but with example. She listens, encourages, and stands up for what is right, creating space for others to feel seen and valued. Her presence strengthens the school community, reminding us that one person's character can positively influence an entire culture. Through her actions, she shows that true leadership is rooted in humility, responsibility, and a genuine desire to serve something greater than oneself. I would be amiss if I did not mention that she is a tri-sport athlete and our female kicker for our varsity football team. But beyond her academic endeavors, she has taken on significant leadership roles within our school community. She has served as secretary of the Beta Club, demonstrating her organizational skills and commitment to academic excellence. As both sophomore and senior class president, she has been instrumental in leading initiatives that foster school spirit and encourage community involvement. Her service as a student representative to the Madison County School Board further reflects her dedication to advocating for her peers and ensuring that student voices are heard. But her commitment to community service also extends well beyond fulfilling a requirement. She actively seeks opportunities to make a positive impact, volunteering her time and talents with such events as Madison Day, Pamper Me Pink, and Vacation Bible School. These experiences showcase her initiative, compassion, and dedication to serving others. Through her academic achievement, leadership roles, community service, and unwavering character, she represents the very best of our school. Her impact will continue to be felt long after graduation, and her example inspires others to lead boldly, serve faithfully, and believe in a difference that they can make. Please welcome our February Senior of the Month, Ms. Tylee Coates.
All right, and next we have Support Staff Member of the Month. Good job.
Good evening. Myself straight here. All right. It is my pleasure to recognize February's Madison County Public School Support Staff Member of the Month from Waverly Howe Elementary School, Mrs. Abby Anderson, an individual whose flexibility, kindness, and dedication make a daily difference for students and staff alike. For many years, she's been a trusted and valuable member of the Waverly Howe team. She truly embodies the phrase, whatever it takes, stepping in wherever she's needed, whether she's supporting students through small group or individual instruction, assisting teachers in their classrooms, covering classrooms, monitoring the lunchroom, or helping with countless other tasks. She does so with a positive attitude and genuine care for students. She is especially active in the 5th grade department, where she's currently supporting students as they raise funds for their end of the year celebration. Her encouragement, consistency, and enthusiasm help make these experiences meaningful and memorable for students. Beyond the school day, she continues to serve others as an active member of the Madison County Volunteer Fire Department, where she serves as Assistant Secretary, further reflecting her commitment to service and community. Upbeat, positive, and kind, she brings a steady presence and a caring heart to everything she does. Waverly Howe Elementary is stronger because of her dedication, and our students and staff benefit from her support each and every day. Please join me in congratulating February's Madison County Public Schools Support Staff Member of the Month, Mrs. Abby Anderson.
Thank you, congratulations. And next will be our February Teacher of the Month.
All right, I'd like to invite Mrs. Kayla Blinko forward, please.
There we go.
It is an honor to recognize February's Madison County Public School Employee of the Month from Waverly Owl Elementary, Mrs. Kayla Blinko, a dedicated educator whose service, leadership, and commitment to students truly exemplify excellence. Since joining Madison County Public Schools in 2017, she has served as a third grade teacher at Waverly Owl Elementary, where she consistently puts students and families at the center of her work. Her classroom is a welcoming, supportive environment, and she's known for building strong relationships with students and partnering closely with families to support each student's growth. In addition to her classroom impact, she has taken on significant leadership roles at both the school and division levels. She has served as third grade level chair since 2021 and currently represents Madison County teachers as a member of the Superintendent's Advisory Council. She has also contributed to numerous committees and initiatives, including literacy textbook adoption, calendar planning, school-wide events, and student clubs, always stepping forward to support her school community. The most favorite, I must note, is the Cross Stitch Club. That is a huge favorite among our school community. She is deeply committed to professional growth, holding a master's degree in teaching and currently pursuing her gifted education endorsement, all while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Her dedication to learning mirrors the high expectations she sets for her students and herself. Through her leadership, service, and genuine care for children and families, she makes a lasting impact on Waverly Owl Elementary and Madison County Public Schools. Please join me in congratulating February's Madison County Public School Employee of the Month, Mrs. Kayla Blinko. Oops.
Congratulations. And with our next piece, it's kind of sad that it had to be so late, but with having a new board and reorganizing a board and getting things set for the year coming up so we can get things accomplished for the school, we neglected to recognize our principals for principal appreciation. And I know that they took probably absolutely zero offense to taking a slight back seat to getting things done, but they take a back seat to so many other pieces in their buildings on a daily basis that we want to make sure that we take time to give them the appreciation for the hard work that they do on a daily basis. So, Ms. Graham?
If the principals could join the board on the stage, please.
All right, our next section is for school board clerk and deputy clerk appreciation.
You missed the school.
I
Did I miss
believe
the
you
school board
skipped a
appreciation?
section.
I did. Ready, because it was, the principals were more important,
Yes.
and I'm actually looking forward to hearing from the SEA. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
The kids are the best part of everything that we do. So I'm just going to say it like it is.
They look a little nervous down there.
So it is School Board Appreciation Week, which I will say it is amazing to see such beautiful pieces of art and appreciation work all over the place. And the gifts, I cannot wait for my kids to go make a pizza. I know they're going to fight over who gets the first slice, but that's okay. And the wonderful Mountaineer gear that we were given, so we can all be very matchy. We should definitely wear them next month, absolutely.
So it is School Board Appreciation Month from the Virginia School Board Association. So you do have certificates from the School Board Association. So since we got a lovely picture with you with the principals, we won't have you do that again, but I will
That's
pass
great.
these out to you now. Thank you.
Thank you. Mhm. And now into section F, which would be the school board clerk and deputy clerk appreciation, which for public content, the Virginia School Board Association of the Board of Directors has designated the third week in February as the VSBA School Board Clerk Appreciation Week, with a goal of building awareness of the role of school board clerks play in assisting school board members, which I will tell you, they do a lot between emails and everything else. Superintendents in our local schools. Our board clerk, Ms. Liz Patterson, also known as the voice of Madison County, and the deputy clerk, Ms. Tina Kropp, are behind-the-scenes champions who keep things running smoothly, juggling countless tasks with grace and attention to detail.
Thank you guys for everything you do.
Thank you so much. And now to the best part of the evening, our wonderful SCA presentation.
It is my honor tonight to have our students and our sponsors of our SCA come forward. I have to give a special thank you to Kaylee Ruth Pearson and Krista Tanner for working so hard and bringing the student leadership back into the building. Their spirit, I know that you guys have seen it on social media, have just made kids want to come to school. And I just can't speak highly enough about them. So without further ado, I will let them come and do their thing. If SCA would join us up here, come on up, guys.
What's their presentation?
Hi, I'm Jenna Kate. I am a junior and I'm the president of SCA.
Hi, I'm Addison Weekly, and I am one of the members on the media team.
Hi, I'm Maya Miller. I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm River Carter and I'm the SCA's historian.
Hi, I'm Trinity Schultz, and I'm the media coordinator. Oh, next slide. Sorry. Sorry, guys. At the high school, we offer lots of clubs like FFA, SCA, FCA, Coding Club, Dungeons and Dragons, weightlifting, and each grade level has sponsors. Next slide, please. This is the statistic for how many people feel like they belong to the school. Out of the 8.1 that strongly disagree, 4% were virtual students. Next slide, please.
These are some of our SCA-led events.
Slide, please. At our back-to-school carnival, 150 kids attended. Each student got to make a tie-dye shirt. They got a meal, which included a hot dog, drink, and chips. And we had an inflatable water slide, like you can see. That was very fun. We played volleyball, cornhole, basketball, and we just had a great time. We listened to music. Next slide.
We had spirit weeks throughout the year so far. One of our most favorite and most popular from Hall of Fame was Rock, Paper, Beads. One of our most popular from Homecoming was Rhyme Without Reason. And one of our most popular from Winter Wonderland was the Battle of the Classes, as the freshmen were snowmen, the sophomores were reindeer, the juniors were elves, and the seniors were Santa. Next slide.
For homecoming week, we had some pretty exciting spirit days. On Monday, we had Country versus Country Club. Tuesday was Decades Day. Wednesday was Rhyme Without Reason, and if you're curious, one of our examples was Slim Shady and Old Lady. And Thursday was Soccer Mom versus Barbecue Dad. Next slide. For our homecoming parade, we had tons of clubs that had their own floats. We had football, volleyball, cheer, FFA, band, golf, cross country, the admin team, and the SCA royalty float. We had WMS and MCHS watching and attending the pep rally afterwards, and we partnered with the middle school's SCA. Next slide. And we had 316 students attending the homecoming in 2025. Our theme was Fair Nights Under Carnival Lights. The Friday before homecoming, all of our SCA students took the day off of school to help decorate. And as you can see, this is probably the best decorating we've had in a good minute.
At our Thanksgiving community dinner, at our Thanksgiving community dinner, we raised over $200. Oh my gosh, we served over 200 meals and raised over $600. All the food was donated by our 9th grade to 12th grade students, and was made by our hospitality and tourism class, which is good teachers. And then we served at SCA students served the meals out to everyone. Slide.
About 50 families joined us for our Winter Wonderland Expo. Each student got to complete four different things. They get to make ornaments, reindeer food. They got to have their face painted and fairy hair if they wanted. They got to write a letter to Santa, take pictures, and receive hot chocolate. Next slide, please.
We've had different student section themes over the last football season. The top left is USA themed, and the bottom left is where we had our bus to green. We had a spirit bus, and the theme was How to Train Your Dragon. And in the bottom right, we have what I believe was one of our pep rallies for maybe Dress to Impress was the game. So we had a spirit bus for our green football game and our golf match versus green. Next slide. For our fundraisers, we have sold Crumble Cookie at 4 games in total, and we have sold 480 cookies at the games. For teachers, we have held Dirty Soda Bars and Popcorn Fridays. As a fundraiser in December, we sold candy canes and had Santa and elves deliver them to the students that they were bought for. Next slide.
If you don't know, this week is Kindness Week. So today for our school, we had Pajama Day. We've had Spirit Days and lunchtime activities. One activity is making Valentine's Day cards for local nursing homes. We have a March Madness sport pep rally. And one big event we have coming up is our Volleypalooza that volleyball hosted last year, and we plan to join them this year to make it a even bigger turnout. We have our senior send-off week, Rising Up pep rally. So when the seniors exit, we're going to have the juniors take their place. So it's kind of like a little emotional going off for the seniors. We have the Clash of Class, final day of school games, and the SCA Spring Conference.
And you can check out our Instagram to see any of the pictures from the events that we've done. Next slide. They're videos, so you have to like click on them. Like individually, one at a time. Yeah, there should be like a play button in the middle when you hover over them. Oh. Okay. Okay.
So before you go, and sorry the video didn't work, but how do you guys find the time to get all this stuff accomplished? When do you meet?
We have SCA meetings every Wednesday morning during homeroom. So that's like the best time for us because in homeroom, it's basically just checking your attendance. So whenever our teachers are checking attendance, we go and meet in here every Wednesday morning.
So you guys came up with all this in homeroom.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of your classmates or colleagues have any idea how much work you guys have put into all this?
I think so. I think our students are getting more engaged this year, definitely.
I mean, from the pep rallies and the student stuff, I mean, you got noticed by T-Mobile nationally. I mean, there was stuff out all over the place about that. That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you guys are doing a tremendously great job.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for them?
I just want to say thank you to the staff leaders too. You guys, it's very evident. I hope the public sees it too, how good of a job you guys do, and really make it fun for our students. I know I enjoy the Instagram stuff. It's good. It's funny. I really like the elf. Yeah, that was Weekend Isaiah Paul. Yeah, and Avery. That was great over Christmas time. But I think it's really awesome, and it's important that our kids buy into the schools too, and you guys do an exceptional job with it. So thank you. And I appreciate it, and I hope, like I said, I hope the community sees it too because it's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we're now moving on to public comment, which, as a reminder, if you have concerns, congratulations, or want some communication with the board, awesome. We'd love to hear from you for about 3 minutes. Please make sure you state your name and where you're from. A reminder, it is not a time for public attack or insult if need be. So the floor is yours. If anybody would like to speak to us, we'd love to hear from you.
My name is Pastor Russell Biber. I'm from Brightwood, and just want to remind you that with the changes we see happening throughout the Commonwealth, I want to encourage you to stay courageous and in staying with what is right, and not giving in to a less than 1% that feel that things should be done their way rather than the greater good, the safety of all the students, and the safety within the classrooms. But this being Kindness Week, I fully agree. We're to be kind to everyone, but that doesn't mean we lie to them to pacify, for sure. I'd like to pray for you, if I could, and let's go to the Lord in prayer. Our Heavenly Father, Again, we do thank you so much for this school board, the administration, all the principals, the teachers, the support staff, the maintenance crew that keep things going. Father, I do pray for a continued good year, blessed year. It's hard to fathom that in just 3 months, it'll be over again. But Father, I pray that the students would continue to learn. Help us all to realize that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Father, I do pray that you would be with our school board, give them the courage, the strength that they need to stand against the wiles of the devil, to stand upon what's right. Give them your grace, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Lisa Davis from Locustdale. I just have 2 quick items tonight. The first, I owe you an update on our pursuit of getting a junior ROTC program here. We have been in contact with the 4th Brigade, Army 4th Brigade headquarters. They're from North Carolina. And the documentation we need from them will be available very soon. Like anything, it's the government. That's all I'll say. And this is key. Also, until federal funding is approved, which my understanding is there's not going to be any problem, but again, it takes time, we would have to fund a position. I am working on getting more specifics because I owe you more specifics. I know that sooner is better. The second item is the American Legion Auxiliary Americanism Essay Contest. Mid-January, I contacted the school superintendent with the contest sponsored by the Auxiliary, Virginia Auxiliary. The contest title essay is Celebrating America's 250th Birthday and Veterans Who Fought for Our Freedom. Homeschool children are invited to also participate. The due date is now changed to 26 February for submittal. I will ask each participating school principal to note the change because it was later than that. I had mixed up January and February calendars. And I just sent out an email earlier to the school superintendent to just please pass on to the principals with the new date and time. And I can just pick them up at the front offices. And again, that's all I have, except thank you for everything you do. And I think I'll get with that club, because there's always military. They can always send letters. They can send cards. There's a lot of things they can do anytime. So I'll be contacting them to see if I can get some support. Thank you.
Don't forget yourself. My name is Mike Sharman. I'm from the Novum area of Madison County. And as y'all have probably gotten an intimation in these first couple months and seeing what's coming down the pike legislatively, et cetera, you're about to get beat up from pretty much every direction for the next 4 years. So that means it's time to go back to the basics, which could be the Constitution or the Bible or little golden books. Little golden books. And the preface says it pretty well. Our country has faced hard times of late, and we've been forced to look at ourselves and how we are living our lives. Ironically, in this health-conscious, ecologically aware age of information, many of us have overborrowed, overspent, overeaten, and generally overdosed on habits or ways of life that aren't good for us or for our world. The chickens have come home to roost, and their names are debt, depression, and diabetes. How did we get here? How, like Tootle the train, did we get off track? Perhaps it's time to revisit these beloved stories and start all over again, trying to figure out where you belong, like Scuffy the tugboat. Maybe as time marches on, you're beginning to feel like you resemble Saggy Baggy Elephant. Or perhaps your problems are more sweeping, like the pokey little puppy. Do you seem to be getting into trouble rather often and missing out on the strawberry shortcake in life? Maybe this book can help you. After all, Little Golden Books were first published during the dark days of World War II, and they've been comforting people during trying times ever since, while gently teaching us a thing or two. And they remind us that we've had the potential to be wise and content all along. And very appropriately, it starts off, is your life starting to feel like a circus? And I know it is probably. But I just would like to echo, too, Pastor Viber's admonition to be strong and of good courage, but just enjoy along the way. Quoting one of my favorite Bible verses, take joy in the various trials that befall you, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Let patience have its perfect work, that you might be perfect, complete, lacking nothing. And I think each one of these pages in here gives you one of those things of how to be perfect, complete, lacking nothing. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, and this is an under $20 non-reportable gift.
All right, would anyone else like to speak to the board? Okay, so we're moving on to board comments.
Okay. I just wanted to say that past month in January, I had the pleasure of attending the literacy night at the primary school. That was a very well-attended event and just really impressed by what I saw. And I also attended the Storybook Carnival at Waverly Owl that, again, was really well attended, and I was super excited to learn about the book vending machine. I think that is the coolest thing I have ever seen. So I was really impressed with the efforts and the fundraising that I heard it took to get that. So very happy to have attended those events. Just wanted to thank our food services division for being proactive before the winter storm and making sure that our families had food available. And also to Stacy and the facilities crew for the enormous task of removing snow and ice that we haven't seen in quite some time. So lots of great work to be done, and thanks all around. And congratulations to Tylee and Abby and Kayla this evening for your awards. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll save most of my comments for the budget portion and also for the reports toward the end. But I do want to just mention to Lisa about the JROTC program, that there are 2 applications for. One is for an actual Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps program here in Madison, and also there's a separate application for a National Defense Cadet Corps here. You have to submit both concurrently. Lisa is right, the 4th Brigade headquarters at Fort Bragg, North Carolina has expressed interest in having one here, but it doesn't come without funding. So you submit both applications. One of them is to be fully funded by us here in Madison, and the other one, it takes about 3 to 5 years. There's a backlog here in the state of Virginia to establish an official junior ROTC program. And, but at that point, we would be, partially federally funded. So, but the good thing is they've agreed to a site visit, and we're starting the conversation. We're building the applications, but we can't fully submit the applications until we have an agreement on funding. Thanks.
I just wanted to kind of reiterate the congratulations for everybody. Like our principals, our fabulous Tylee, and our staff, and basically everything Lauren said. Thank you guys, and like this is like the greatest thing ever. I do have to note, I did read ahead a little bit, and this is my favorite page, so I'm going to read it out loud. It says, "Get dressed first thing. Sweatpants are bad for morale. Put on something nice." And I think all of our students, including the one in my house right now, needs to hear that. So, thank you.
I just wanted to also thank all the staff for everything that they've done, the food services, facilities, everything that I don't even know about. I know there was a lot of stuff that went on during the winter storm, and I appreciate everybody, what they did to help us dig out. There's a lot of, and I'm going to forget a bunch, so forgive me for this, but there's a lot of accolades that's happened over the last month too. Specifically, one that I remember was, I believe our FFA did very well representing us nationally, I believe. And forgive me for not being specific, but I know that they're continuing to do great work. And I appreciate the staff that's leading them and the students. Coach in the back, congratulations. Wrestling did very well this past weekend as well. I think we had a district champion with Juliet, is that right? Yep, okay, so, and there was other ones too, and forgive me, I don't remember everybody, but I know we did well there, and I believe a swimmer too qualified for states, I believe, so, again, and I'm forgetting a bunch. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm glad there's so many people and students that are successful in Madison. And again, another thing I hope our community recognizes, because we have a special place here. So congratulations to all the coaches, staff, and thanks again for helping clean up after the winter storm. So thank you.
Thank you for all that had comments tonight. Pastor, for the prayers and the guidance. Mr. Sharman, an amazing find on a book is that, oddly enough, I just cleaned up my kids' library, and then one thing I refused to get rid of were the little golden books. And Coach Oots, as a former Madison alum wrestler on the first team ever here, man, it's nice to see somebody bring home a trophy again. That's awesome. Congratulations. With that, we will now be moving on to the joys of the calendar committee. There we go. I scrolled up.
And this is just to let you know who the calendar committee is this year. We did adopt 2 years' worth of calendars. So the 26-27 calendar has already been developed, but this committee will just be kind of reviewing it to make sure there's not a need for any changes. And then they'll be working on the 27-28 calendar. So we can always stay ahead, so families that want to plan for a vacation way out and things like that will be able to do so. So this gives you the members of the calendar committee. And then from there, these are our staff members, and then the MCEA president as well. And then from there, once they meet, I'll bring in parents to review the calendars as well. And then they put out a vote to the staff.
Thank you. And now on to Part B, Student Services VDOE Inclusion Audit. Here we go.
Good evening. So we are tasked, based on Code of Virginia, to continuously evaluate our inclusive practices as they pertain to students who receive special education services and supports. So this audit was conducted using surveys and interviews, and of course data around our inclusive numbers. So we provide a continuum of services, there they are, so that we can create situations and programs for kiddos with different levels of need to access academic opportunities and social opportunities. So in that the first row there, general education inclusion setting, 75% of our students, at least 75% of our students, receive the majority of their education in the inclusive environment, as it is appropriate. When we look at research services, those are some pull-out services for kiddos who need something a little bit more specialized that cannot be completed or conducted in that general education setting. We have self-contained setting for kids who spend the majority of their day in a modified curriculum setting. That is about 7, maybe 3.5% of our kids, because the other 3.5% are actually in a separate day program where their needs are being met either in residential. I think we have 3 now. Most of those placements do not generate from school setting. That's something that happens at home. It just happens to be a kiddo who has special needs. And the other 4 would be outplaced to an Ivy Creek or a Keys, and 2 at Via. And right now we have 1 kiddo on homebound services, and that's a medical need, not a special education one. In addition to those services, we offer occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech language, vision, all of that within the school setting for those kids who need that. So based on our audit results, overwhelmingly, based on the surveys, our teachers, staff, faculty all feel like we are moving in a good positive direction as far as moving from those kiddos and those teachers to our kiddos and our students. We're all kind of embraced that idea. We thankfully, and a little bit surprisingly, because this is usually a weak area, folks felt like leadership has done a great job of getting everyone on board with the understanding that we are all responsible for all kids. And like I said, most of our kids are being educated in that general education setting, so physical inclusivity is a strength of ours as well, and that collaborative spirit or that collaborative culture that we've created. Now, we've identified 4 areas of continued need, and that scheduling, trying to find time where special ed teachers and general ed teachers can actually get together for meaningful collaboration. It's not always easy in a busy school day. We would like to beef up our paraprofessional training. It's kind of hard getting our paraprofessionals here on days when they're not required to work, and then finding that time within the school day to provide that training. And then because our kids are accessing education in various settings, having support, whether it's a paraprofessional or teacher in those core curriculum classes. And as always, we want to continue to work on family engagement, getting our family partners as involved as possible in that process. So to that mean, our goals for the next couple of years will be standardizing that protected collaborative planning time, being creative in how we achieve that. We would like to implement a comprehensive paraprofessional development program. Again, we're going to have to be creative about how and when that's done. And then finding a way of monitoring and kind of measuring our family engagement, whether that's counting folks who attend or don't attend IEP meetings or other opportunities. And then our language, we've talked about this over the years, making sure from building to building when kids are transitioning, for families and for students, that we're using a common language, that the rules don't sound or seem a little different when you move from one building to the next. That's kind of it in a nutshell. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. And on to Section 12, Part A, the fun stuff, the budget draft.
Yes, time to talk about the budget. So if you'll go ahead to the next slide, just quickly review for the audience and a refresher how we developed our budget. We looked at our current budget and what it's being spent on right now. We reviewed our data, as you'll recall, at our January meeting and our January work session. We did the survey for all stakeholders through November and December. We collected and looked at what our staff believe were budget wants and needs. We consulted with the Superintendent Advisory Committee, and we gathered leadership team input from our principals. And then a couple weeks ago, we had the school board budget work session where you guys were able to provide even more feedback as well. So with that, that takes us to the next slide. And this is the list of items that you'll see in the budget when Ms. Kropp reviews it here with you in a second. And highlighted in the green, those are the things that have been added since our budget work session, because that is from feedback from you all. So in this budget for FY27, it includes a 4% raise for administrators and a 5% raise for all other positions within the division. It absorbs, right now we have a 10% health insurance increase placeholder in there. We should know by the end of the month what our health insurance increase is going to be, if anything, I should say. Maybe it'll even be a deduction, who knows? Maybe it'll be a decrease. We'll just think positively, like in a little golden book. 2 additional SPED teachers, 1 additional English as a second language teacher, 2 additional aides for inclusion classes at the primary school. Again, these are things that we discussed at the work session. 1 additional K-5 teacher, and that location would be determined based on class size. 1 additional aide at Waverly to provide student rotation and so teachers can have common planning. 1 additional aide for the teacher residency program grant, where we're growing our own from a current teacher's assistant growing to become a teacher. Moving the Waverly counselor position from a 10-month contract to a 10-month plus 10 days contract. Increasing the instructional supply line $5,000 per school. Providing $5,000 for the middle school band supplies to get their instruments repaired as well. $2,655 for middle school wrestling coach, $11,875 for middle and high school after-school Mountaineer Theater, like our mini Mountaineer Theater. This would be for middle and high. $15,000 to cover high school teacher overloads. That's as needed based on the class demand each year. And then increase of $59,000 for outside SPED services, $20,000 added for electric, water, and sewer, and $50,000 to meet our ongoing technology needs. So when Ms. Kropp goes over the budget, it will show an ask. I can read the exact one. $311,057 increase in requests from the county. But this is our draft budget, so the bottom line, our goal is to request level funding from the county. We're just waiting for the final budget from the state and then see how things fall within what we have here. So we hope to bring you balanced with the final state budget at the March board meeting. And then just a little timeline for you on the next slide. We'll know a whole lot more come February 22nd. That's Budget Sunday. So that's when we'll have the budgets from the House and the Senate, and we'll be able to give you more information that we would be able to provide the Board of Supervisors when we meet on the 26th at 3 p.m. at their work session, and then we'll bring you a budget to approve on March 9th. But at this time, we'll pull up the actual draft budget and, superintendent's budget. And Tina will go over it. Turn mine off so we don't make that noise.
Okay, if you want to bring up the draft budget. Okay. This is our executive summary page, and like Ms. Graham said, it shows a $311,057 increase to the county line, asking them for funds, but that's going to be zeroed out, we hope, with our health insurance, and then we'll adjust the raise if we need to, and we will hope for more state funding. So stop me as I go along if you have any questions or comments. I tend to go pretty fast, so. We have, most of our increases in this budget are for salary increases and the fringe benefits to help cover the increase in the salaries going up. We do have, VRS has come down this year, so that's a great thing. It's come down 2%, so that really helps us put that money back in the budget. We have, you can see in the notes, there's a 4% raise for admin, and everyone else is projected to get a 5% raise. We have included the 4 new positions in the teacher line and also the middle school wrestling coach. We have increased instructional programs based on current needs of $29,000, and the regional tuition based on actual increases, that needs to go up $30,000. On the next page, we've increased materials and supplies. That's based on need of $25,000, and we have reduced the textbook need by $5,892, and that's based on state allocations and the required local match that comes from the state budget. So any questions or comments on those?
Not yet.
In Function 2000, we basically have the 4% increase for everyone, for just administrators, 5% for everyone else, and then the increase in fringe benefits to cover the raises. We have no increases on page 2 of Function 2000. Function 3000, which is transportation, has raises at 5% increase. We have bus driver pay is projected. We would like to increase that by $2 an hour for each step. So that, right, that's more than 5%, and that varies as you go down the scale. So the percentage is not the same, but it is $2 an hour for each step. Fringe benefits in Function 3000 is able to go down based on the health insurance elections there. We've had several runs have been cut, so we don't have as many drivers, so the health insurance is not being utilized as much. So we try to run that as close as we can in each function. In Function 4000, we have the increases for salaries. We also have, as Ms. Graham said, electric, water, sewer, $20,000 increase. We can reduce telephone service by $10,000, so we've done that. 5,000 function, there are no changes projected for that. And the 8,000 function, we have the raise, and we have included a $50,000 increase to include APs, switches, the new E-rate cycle, which enables us to apply, and then we have a local match to put with that, and we have several bids going out. Then we'll go over just revenues briefly. We start with state revenues. Well, let me go back one page to the graph. The graph is changing a little bit. Normally, our county revenue is about a 48% share, and state is less. So our state revenue is up to 52. County revenue, if this holds, will be 43%. There'll still be some changes, but it shouldn't change the percentages too much. Other revenue always stays about 1%. Federal revenue runs about 4 to 5, and that's normal. It was up during ESSER, but usually runs 4 or 5% of the total budget. Then we have increases and decreases in state funding. The biggest increase in state funding line is school basic aid, and that is due to lifting the support cap for support positions. That's been cut, I think, 18 years now. So that's finally coming back to fully support from the recession in 2008. Then the second page, we still have state funding, ups and downs. They give and get on different categories of the revenue codes. And then we have an increase in sales tax projected to be $89,491. Federal funding, we have no changes recommended for that. We don't see any changes. Other funds, we have about a $20,000 decrease, and that is due to a change in refunds and rebates with some health insurance changes. So that will, that we get reimbursed from the county. We've had some changes in that with personnel not here, so that reduces that just a little bit. And then, of course, we have the county funds at $311,057, which will probably most likely go away. So any questions or comments?
Thank you, Tina. You know those books about as well as anybody. Well, definitely better than anybody. But I just want to, for clarification, the 4 to 5% raise, that's an anticipated 4% from the state with a local 1% raise from our internal budget. So that can be anywhere from 2 to 4%. So that's probably where the $300,000 is coming from. That we are over budgeted for the county, which I get that. And the health insurance piece, is that an anticipated 10% bump or up to 10% of the salary that you're planning? How does that work?
This is, the numbers in there based on 10%.
Based on 10%, not a 10% increase, correct?
We're hoping it's less, but.
Right.
Say again,
that's
please.
fine. We hope that it comes in less, but we.
Oh, less than
buffer ourselves,
10%.
Give us 10%.
And the dates for that anticipated?
End of February.
The end of February, we'll have that information, which will be, that'll be really helpful for us to understand.
Huge.
Okay, good. And so I think that, things are looking good on it. I will say that the wrestling team, I know that we have a $2,600 budget for that. There's a huge demand signal for wrestling in the community. I think that that's probably for coach's fee. I don't know if we want to consider some startup as well. That would be a one-time startup and then an ongoing $2,600 for the coach fee, budget. So something to consider going forward. If we're going to start one, we might as well start it, with the right resourcing as well. So I'd say that. And then, last budget meeting, we talked about administrators. I brought up some interest in wanting to dig more into that, and I believe what the board would like to see, Anna, is for us to find one administrator from one of the 4 school buildings and bring them to the central office to focus on instruction and grant writing. So if you can look into that as well, I think that will solve some of our concerns going forward. Those are the main points for right now, I believe, barring anything anybody else from the board has with the budget.
I just also want to add thank you again. I know how hard you guys work on this budget. It's not a fun time. I know we talk about it for 6 months of the year and then get a 2-month break, but just thank you for all the work that you've put in just over the last couple weeks since we met about it too.
Okay, and so now we move into public hearing on the budget. This is for public comment. Okay. Okay. Moving right along. We're going to section 14 with business approval. So the first piece is the Virginia School Board Association Code of Conduct. It is recommended that we move this forward. So do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the VSBA Code of Conduct.
Second the motion.
We have a second. Do we have any need for discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And it is passed. Second piece of business, school improvement grant. Recommended action is to approve the school improvement grant as presented. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the school improvement grant.
Do we have a second?
A second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And it is moved forward. Part C, revisions to the Madison County Public Schools Athletic Committee Framework.
Correct. So basically, I'd like to make a motion to, this is a fairly minor edit to the original framework, but I would like to include one homeschool parent to be on the committee so we can represent our homeschool student athletes in our discussion as we move forward with figuring out how we're going to go about our mission and vision and espouse values in athletics for our community.
Not yet. But you can make one. Do we have a motion?
Do I need to make a motion? I'd like to make a motion to add one homeschooled parent to the athletic advisory committee makeup.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Only concern, if there is no homeschool parent that does come forward, do we just leave that spot vacated?
Correct. It would just, it is
Just for clarification.
a space for a homeschool parent to have a voice on with our athletics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 The ayes have it. Last part of business approval, Section D. This is to approve the superintendent's initiate exploratory planning process for a new athletic facility. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I second that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Do you have any discussion? All right.
I guess, for the public, just to understand what exactly this is. This is, we're going to move forward with a planning team to look at the potential of having an athletic field house here at the house for the high school and middle school for our athletics. So the thought process now is we just want to move forward working with the members from the school system, to include the athletic director and others, on developing a blueprint of what this field house might look like, to as well as work with an architect on putting together a rendering of the field house. And the idea is that we would use this rendering to raise money in our community to outside of taxpayer dollars for a field house here at the high school and middle school.
Any more discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. All right, and that moves us on to Section 15, reports, school board members, and representatives, and the superintendent.
Apparently, I jumped the gun and did my report before I was supposed to, so forgive me, I'm new. But what I said earlier, insert here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll provide a quick update for the CIP. That's the Capital Improvements Plan committee meeting. We met, had a very professional walkthrough with Stacy and members from the school system. Looked at the high school and middle school, the state of our facilities here. It was, we took our time, we went through, and we as a committee agreed to move forward with a modernization study. So this modernization study is going to, we don't know exactly how much it's going to cost. We believe it's going to be somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000, which we believe we have the money for, based on some other savings. And we are planning to meet next month with an architect to ask questions and to lay out expectations of this modernization study. And this modernization study is for them to come and look at the high school and middle school and figure out whether we need to restore what we got or rebuild somewhere else. And that's our step one in trying to see ourselves. And this is something that we're going to hope to do and execute sometime over the next 3 to 5 months.
I attended a prep meeting, and I don't know if Nina's out there watching this meeting, but you are missed. So I attended that meeting. We just kind of elected our new board and everything too. But they are going to have in April, hopefully, like a fundraising 5K for prep, which I think send how many students? One student over there for some specialized instruction and things. So pretty neat. I hope that you guys can come. Once I know more details, I'll share. But that's all I got.
Greg, I have one more update for I forgot. I passed it on anyway. So this one is specific to the Athletic Advisory Committee. We had our first meeting this past week. It was a very productive meeting. There were representatives from the high school, middle school. We had principals, we had head coaches, we had representatives from the Parks and Rec. We had parent representatives, we had member-at-large representatives. And the purpose of the committee is to, we're basically building a philosophy of how we go about athletics here in Madison and public school system. And we had a very productive conversation. What we're doing right now is we're working together to establish a revised mission and vision and espouse values for for sports and for athletics here in Madison. The one thing that we did agree to that I thought was a very good takeaway from the meeting is that we believe, we all agreed that we want to have a winning culture here in Madison. We also all agreed that character is everything. So we are looking at focusing on developing athletes of character. We're going to be focusing on teamwork and discipline and resilience and things like academic excellence for our athletes. And we're going to use those that mission statement, that vision and mission statement, and those espoused values to develop some metrics for how we're going to evaluate coaches and programs throughout our school system. And I just felt like it was a very inclusive group, a very good conversation, and a very good step forward. So I really appreciate the support that we're getting from Anna and her team with this particular committee. Thank you.
I don't have anything to report this month, but we're getting ready to have a technology advisory committee meeting. We'll be continuing to talk about our AI policy and some upcoming upgrades. So that's about it. Nothing this month or next month.
Only thing I have to report is I attended virtually because of the snowstorm, the Virginia School Board Association's chairman meeting, and it was very concise due to the fact that we weren't there in person, but it dealt with a lot of the Freedom of Information Act situations that we deal with, and how to properly use a gavel at certain points, which tonight I have none, so I've been using my hand instead. And the actual workings of how our school board flows is within the Constitution of Virginia, which some of you probably don't know actually predates the U.S. Constitution, which is phenomenal, which as a history nerd, I thought that was great. But otherwise, just how not to mess up parliamentary procedures, I think I've done it at least twice tonight. So I did not pay nearly enough attention to it, and that's okay. There's room for improvement. And that's all I have to report.
Just want to say I'm happy to be here. I will say that, just thankful for everybody's safety over the winter because it has been a terrible, terrible winter. But I will say that SEA has been amazing this year. I don't think I've ever experienced such a great counseling to SEA and SEA students and everybody being involved. I think it's just great, and it just wants you to be at school and be active and be participating in everything. But the athletes committee, I think that is great because it is important for a lot of students to get physical, like just having that, like, trying to think of the word, but I can't. But just exercising and all like that, but just if you're playing a sport, it's the discipline and just being a good teammate and being a good opponent. It's all the things coming together. It's very, very important, and yeah.
Just really quick, I wanted to kind of give an overview. I talked to Miss Wood last week, and just a report of that snow ice event that we had, because we were out of school for 6 days, and then we were delayed 2 hours on the one day. It was quite the challenge for getting all that ice. I don't even know if you call it snow anymore. There might have been some snow down in there somewhere, but all that ice removed was quite the feat. Some questions have been raised, just like where we stand. Why didn't we do the virtual learning? We base our calendar on hours. We're required to have 990 hours, so we have built into our calendar an additional 123 hours. So that time during the school day that we're with the kiddos, so we have like a 6.25 hour day that the kids are here learning minus their lunchtime. And so that's so that we can do the in-school tutoring that you hear about, the remediation, some club time and stuff like that throughout the year. But a lot of that time is spent, so it counts for instructional hours because the kids are getting that tutoring and that extra work. Or like at the high school, it's built into their block time, their class time. So because of that, we have a lot of time banked. So we have only used so far 51.75 of our hours. So we still have 71 hours. So we're still cushioned about 11 school days. We could always, we're not required to do the virtual learning days, and I don't think that would be very popular with parents or teachers if we don't have to have it, but it could be something that we look into if some parents are interested just in like some assignments or like some books or things that schools can recommend. We could always do something like that if parents were looking for just a little bit of extra something to have at home. I mean, we can talk about that in our schools. They can work with their parent committees and things to discuss. Transportation department did a great job during the snow time. They checked roads. They have to ride all of our routes to report back to VDOT turnarounds, and it was particularly difficult, and that's really what stretched us into a couple of those extra days, especially that Monday being closed, because it was like little ice walls where our buses turn around on several of our routes, and you can't back up into that ice. So we were waiting to have all that cleared, but also it took a while to get the ice out of our lots. There's areas that were getting more shade than other areas, so it kind of remained icy for a while. And our maintenance department went over as much as they possibly could. They started working on the Saturday as things were starting to fall into that Sunday, but then when it became apparent that it was pretty much just a sleet and ice falling, there wasn't really much they could do during that time. We did have to rent a skid loader. It comes at about at I think it was $150 an hour. It was because our equipment, nor anyone's in the counties, was really hitting that ice very well, so that's what was making a difference. So the maintenance department did say if you ever want to gift them a skid loader, that would be fun and much appreciated. So.
100% agree with that. That would be a game changer. Maybe
Just
2 of them.
Plug that in. I'm sure it's something the county could even share. Who knows? But just throwing that out there. Food services, I know Lauren mentioned this, but they did an excellent job. The moment they heard it was likely to be a big storm, Patty and her crew, that was on that Wednesday that she was like, I really think I'm allowed to do something. I think I want to pull together food. From that Wednesday to Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m., I think they closed down Main Street because they gave out food for 500 kids. It was 5 breakfasts, 5 lunches for 500 children went out in 2 hours that night. So that's amazing. And the fact that they pulled it together in 2 days and had everything bagged, like that just gives you cold chills on how this community comes together when things happen. But closing reflection with buses, we are going to make sure that when there's like a big storm that we go ahead and have drivers that maybe take them home to have them at the bus shop for situations like this, because there was like so much ice and things on their buses, and digging them out is easier when it's all at the shop for everyone to help, just so everyone can be helping, the drivers in that situation. But otherwise, it was kind of unprecedented, so not much we could have done differently. Everyone did a great job with what they had, so.
Unless you had skid loaders.
Unless you had a skid loader. Yeah. The people with the skid loaders definitely fared better, but it was good. I think everyone did a great job, and more power to anyone that tried to go sledding on that. I was not brave in my home. That's all.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second that motion.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.